I think it's even more simple than what they realize when they walk into a class. I think to slow down and actually breathe and pay attention to your breath is one of the biggest stress reduction techniques that I even am here to guide, which, sometimes people think meditation or stress reducing techniques at all are hard and they don't have time to do it. And honestly, just sitting down and even counting inhale 1, exhale 1, inhale 2, exhale 2 will just kind of escape you from all of the chatter in your mind and kind of just bring you right back inward and let go of all that stuff that might not matter right here, right now. Everybody's looking for something different. Everybody's looking to maybe get back into shape. Some people are just looking to calm their mind, and some people really need to stretch because they really like to work out at the gym, but they never stretch. So this is just kind of their way to get out of that world and into this world and try to kind of hit both, if you will. As far as a beginner goes, I teach a restorative class once a week, and I always suggest somebody coming there first. It's mainly stretching. Everything is active, static stretches, so they're in complete control of what their body's doing. They can come in and out of every stretch they need to, mostly seated in a tabletop position, and then supine on the back is really all I teach for that class. So it's really good to really kind of escape from, am I doing this right? Is this the way this is supposed to look? Am I strong enough to hold this here? It's mainly just do what feels good for you. And that is more so to get their feet wet than anything. And then sometimes that class is really all anybody comes to because, like I said, they like to go to the gym and then they'll come in there and just get a nice stretch. A bar class is great to tone and lengthen your muscles. So if somebody's looking to get back into shape and they like a more high energy class, that one's awesome. I'll teach a power flow just to build some strength, and people can really test their limits in certain classes. And what's great is that if the patients start in a restorative class, even if they're brand new to yoga, they can build from there and they can really find out what they like from there. So that's why I try to teach the variation. Being in the present moment is so simple, but we don't realize how often we're not. There's all the things that happened earlier that we can't stop thinking about, and all of the things that may or may not happen later that we can't stop thinking about, that right here, right now is like avoided in every way, shape, or form. So I like to focus on that, being that you can't control anything that's happened in the past, so let's just let it go for now. And we can't predict anything that's going to happen in the future, so let's just let that go for now. It all comes back to the breath. It's all about the inhales and exhales. I know this is like what my shirt says today, which is funny, but it is as simple as it sounds, because the focus is actually on yourself. And what I tell everybody to do, especially in a Shavasana pose where your body slows down, so your mind is speeding up and going all over the place, that if you slow down and just lay there, and instead of focusing on the thoughts that flow through your mind, focus on that moment between thoughts where you're not worried about anything. And that's here, that's present moment, that's right now. And sometimes that's a lot more difficult for some people than others. High anxiety, lots of stress. In those cases, I tell them to focus on something that brings them happiness or something that brings them peace, and just focus on that one specific thing right here, right now. Because again, that's going to help with a present moment instead of worried about anything going on outside what's going on right now. It is a little bit different for everybody. Some people do want to walk in and do everything, and sometimes, like, you'll get your perfectionists that will just, instead of just doing the class and just finding movement that feels okay for them, they'll say, is this right? Am I right? Is this okay? And, I'll just say, I'm here just to guide you. I'm focused on your alignment. As long as your body is safe as far as the physical practice of everything, you're good. But, a lot of people are interested in taking their practice outside with them at Lakeview. They ask me questions about what they should do. So there's some people that would feel more comfortable at home doing it. So I'll just suggest certain videos, even on YouTube. Obviously, there's just so much that you can get now just reaching around. Obviously, I always suggest going to a live class just because I feel like they'll get more out of the experience. You'll get the full 60 minutes of a class, and you're not in your home or in somewhere else with all these distractions coming around you. So I always give that advice. And, you know, sometimes people are interested in taking it up as like a full practice. I had a few people, I'll never forget this one guy that was here about a year ago that told me, it was right before Christmas, and he told me that he asked his wife for Christmas for a yoga package and a yoga mat. That's what he wanted for Christmas from her, which I thought was so awesome. And he was at my classes every single day and was really committed to like building his own practice. That's awesome. He didn't care about standing on his head necessarily, but just getting better in himself, which was super cool to see that. And then, you know, I'll have some people that say like, could I go somewhere and just get a package so I could go stretch somewhere for like once a week? Cause I like to go to the gym. Can I go stretch once a week or things like that? So people are looking for different things, but it's awesome because most of the time when people walk in that have no idea about yoga will have a completely different mindset when they walk out of the room. They're like, oh wow, I feel better than when I walked in here. And I'm like, great, then my job is done because that's really all I'm here to do. So as long as, you know, that positive feedback keeps coming, that makes me feel good, like that it is an active part of their recovery, which is pretty cool. While they're at Lakeview, I always tell them, because I know that they are on a very regimented schedule here every day. They have places to be and things to do, which is obviously the same of any, you know, everyday life when they leave. But here I try to tell them, even if it's for 5 minutes in the morning or at night, if their issues are that they're really tight in their body, just find like a forward bend, a forward fold, something easy. Even a seated fold, something easy that helps them to open up their body while just kind of sitting still and keeping their mind really still. And if, you know, it is high anxiety and if they get anxious for the day or for, you know, sharing in a group or something like that, I tell them to do exactly what I told you earlier in the beginning, to count to 10 inhales and exhales and to just sit. A minute before they go to bed, I always say that one thing, lie still, either breathe or think of that one thing that just makes them feel at peace, happiness, always inward, nothing, you know, something that's happening around them, anything that connects to them.